Okay, this is now the Tarot Q&A number 13. And today I want to begin with a little bit of a follow-up to the last video about choosing your words carefully. And then I'll look at the 10th, 11th and 12th houses in a horoscope spread. But I wanted to do the follow-up because I think it's interesting. But I mentioned last time about a bit about the law of attraction and how, in a way, you can summarize or sum up the whole of the law of attraction with you get back what you give out. And I was thinking about that idea after I posted the video, and I wanted to say a little bit more about it. So, if it's true that we get back what we give out, this means that in spite of what you might think from time to time, you are not doomed. We are not doomed. We're not subject to control by conditions. Circumstances don't control us. Actually, if we get back what we give out, then if we change what we're giving out, we're going to change. There will be a change in what we get back. Eli Goldratt, that I've mentioned before, talked about cause and effect. So instead of focusing on the effect, which is what we get back, focus instead on the cause, which is what we're giving out. So that what we get back is under our control, actually. Maybe not going from huge difficulties to sweetness and light in 1 second. But if you're in dire straits or serious difficulty, it is within your power to actually bring about a change. And you do it by looking at the cause and make some changes to the cause. And that's going to affect the outcome, the effect. So, if you don't like what you're getting back or what life is giving you, do something different. So what you do is you maybe aim elsewhere. If you've been thinking about a relationship getting better and it's not getting better, think about work, think about creativity, think about health, think about exercise. Focus somewhere else. And also focus on what you want and stop thinking about what you don't want. Which means that you're sending out what you want and you're going to get back what you want, because there's cause and effect and we get back what we give out. So the other thing is think different thoughts. So it goes back to that thing I said before about why am I such a loser? Okay, you get all these ideas. If you keep thinking or asking why am I such a loser, you're going to keep getting back answers. But if you start to think, how can I improve? How can I be a winner? How can I make progress? How can I make today better than yesterday? And ask yourself questions like that. It's a different kind of thought. You're sending out different stuff. You're going to get different stuff back. And somebody, I think it was Spooky Boo. Hello, Spooky Boo. She left a comment about, because I'd mentioned Jordan Peterson, and she talked about his idea about cleaning your room. And Jordan Peterson talks about it's important to clean your room, and people laugh and say, this is so stupid. But actually, by cleaning your room and doing something simple, it's easy, it can be done, but it changes things. You get back what you give out. So if you're giving out responsibility or neatness or orderliness or self-respect or whatever it is that causes you to clean your room, you're going to get that back from people that you know as well as from the world. So there's something to be said for simple things, doing simple things. And then I wrote down, pay attention to what you think and pay attention to what you notice. So somebody might say, I want a better relationship. And that's one thought. But then they go to the grocery store and then they get annoyed about people not having their credit card ready. Why can't you do that? Why can't you pack your own groceries? Why do you get in my way? Why can't you put the buggy back? And they spend the rest of the day complaining and arguing and being negative about people. Then they come back home. The neighbours left the stuff out in the yard again. You know what I mean? People do that. And so if you get back what you give out, how can you expect that one thought, I want a better relationship, is just going to magically happen if you keep being so negative and complaining and so miserable and criticizing everybody? And I wrote as well, people are miserable and complaining all the time. And I wrote down, think back to last summer, before the coronavirus hit. Okay, think back to conversations you had with people back then. And I guarantee that 99% of what they talked about was negative. There was something wrong here, something bad going on there. Think back to the conversations you had with people. People are always complaining, and they're always miserable, I thought. So if you can monitor your thoughts, first be aware of what you're actually thinking and saying and imagining, and then begin to control things, then things improve and you end up going in a better direction, because we get back what we give out. So I in the light of this, I went down to a grocery store yesterday, and it was a really nice day. So I'm walking along and there was hardly any traffic, and I really enjoyed the sunshine, and I really enjoyed the fresh air, and I really enjoyed walking down the road to the grocery store. I thought, it is a beautiful day. So I spent 15 minutes, 20 minutes walking down, and I was kind of really enjoying and happy, and it was good to walk. So I'm thinking, let's say you like pizza, and you order a pizza. How many times have you ordered a pizza and you really enjoy pizza or something like that, and you think, I shouldn't be eating this? You're eating away and you're feeling guilty. Stop it. You get back what you give out. So if I'm eating a pizza, get into eating a pizza and enjoy every mouthful and every chew, instead of, I feel guilty, or I shouldn't be eating this, or I should be eating healthily. Yes, you should, but at the same time, if you enjoy every moment of what you're doing, your life will change and you'll get back what you give out. So I was thinking about that. One last point, the coronavirus. And I was thinking, people have not asked for the coronavirus. So does that mean that the idea of we get back what we give out is not valid? And I thought, how many people do you know? How many people in the world are miserable and fed up? Some people, I think, I don't know how many people are in the world, but let's say you get 5 billion people in the world who are miserable. Where does all that misery go? It goes out there and comes back to them, and it's doubled and it's quadrupled. So it seemed to me, people got to the point, or it got to the point where so many people were miserable and fed up and wanted a change. And how are you going to get one? You can't have a war because it's too unpredictable and too many people get killed and it's too painful. I mean, it's going on in Syria and all sorts of places at the moment. But I thought, if you don't want to go somewhere and you say to the person, I don't want to go, they can get annoyed with you. But if they say, do you want to go out? And you say, no, I can't, I'm sick. They'll say, oh, okay, hope you get better soon. So people don't mind if you use sickness as an excuse. So I thought, the coronavirus, everybody's fed up. Everybody wants a reboot, a stop and a start. Only better. How are we going to get it? Let's shut down the world. And after a while, we'll begin again. But we'll begin again differently because of what we've been through. You get back what you give out. We've understood things about ourselves that we would not have understood if we'd been continuing on with our busy or not so busy or our bored lives. So anyway, this is now the horoscope part 4. 3 houses, the 10th, 11th and 12th. So the 10th house goes at the top. I'll try to remember to put a diagram over there. So the 10th house card that I got was the 3 of Batons. So the 10th house shows business. It's opposite the 4th. The 4th is home, the 10th is business. And that's one way of understanding or remembering the houses. They're opposite each other. So home and business are opposite. So my business, I got the 3 of Batons upright. So that shows, 3 of Batons is expansion, sending ships out, or maybe the ships are coming back if you look at the picture. So let's say it's a 3 and it's near the beginning because there's 1, 2, 3. So let's say if I send out boats, they'll come back full of, I don't know, bounty, or full of whatever trading ships are full of. So it seems to me, looking at that 3 of Batons, if I or behave in an expansive way when it comes to business, that's what I should be doing, rather than cutting myself off, let's say, or doing something private. But I think with the 3 of Batons in the 10th house, so if I came to you for a tarot reading and you did a horoscope spread and I got the 3 of Batons in the 10th house, and I say, what do I do about business? You would say, expand, do big things, connect with people in other countries from other backgrounds, in the way that a trader in the sailing ship days sent ships to bring stuff back, knowing that the ship might sink, but it doesn't matter. You do it anyway. So do what has to be done. Whether or not it produces results doesn't matter. I'm just supposed to do what I'm supposed to do, which again gets me back to, you get back what you give out. So if I'm giving out ideas about expansion and growth, it's going to come back to me. The second, then, that's the 10th house. The 11th house is your friends or hopes and aspirations. So if somebody wants to know about their friends, let's say you've got a horoscope spread for a neighbour, and they say, tell me about my friends, you would turn the card in the 11th house, and that would describe the friends, what they're like, what they're doing, what they're up to, what's good about them, what's bad about them. It depends on the card. So for me, in the 11th house, I got the Hermit reversed. So you could look at the Hermit as somebody on their own, and it's upside down, so they don't like being on their own, and say your friends are in lockdown, they're isolated, and they're not happy about it, which is kind of obvious, which is in a lot of ways the same answer for tons of people. So I think if you're going to say something like that, instead of just saying your friends are in isolation and unhappy about it, I think you have to look at to understand why they're like that. And you can begin to answer that question by looking at, if you remember, the first house is you, the second is your values. So if the 11th house is your friends, the 12th is your friends' value sense. So the 12th house card, it happens to be the 7 of Swords. So your friends are unhappy about being on their own because they're not sure what role they have to play. Because the 7 of Swords shows somebody in the foreground looking kind of wicked, somebody in the distance who's been defeated, and somebody going off to comfort probably the person in the distance. So you win some, you lose some, you have to help other people. But the friends aren't sure quite what is appropriate behavior at the moment, is one way. And then how do they communicate? You look at the first house. But anyway, so the other thing I wrote down, instead of, if we look at the 11th house as showing my personal hopes and aspirations, what am I looking for? What do I aspire to? What am I thinking about for my future? So I get this, the Hermit reversed. So what are my hopes about? So my hopes are, I want to live to be really old. I mean, and in good health, but really old, partly because it takes so long to learn anything. You know, it takes you 40 years to get the hang of something. You don't want to give it up. You want to keep working with it and keep learning and keep developing knowledge and understanding rather than die. So I want to live to a ripe old age, but the card is reversed. So there's a glitch. And I want to live to be old and do things my way, because that's the hermit, I think. But it's reversed, so there's a glitch. So the glitch is something about the nature of the hermit card. The glitch isn't, I don't have enough money, because that's pentacles. Or the glitch isn't, I don't have any ideas, because that can be batons. Oh, well, the hermit's holding a baton, so let's pick something else. So the glitch isn't, can't think of anything else. So there's a glitch. So, and I thought, what makes sense for the hermit? The glitch is, I want to do it on my own, but I need other people. And that's the glitch. And you may have noticed that people leave comments and I usually don't reply to them. But comments are useful because comments that people leave give me ideas about what to think about next or what to do next. So I know that I should be paying more attention to comments and interacting more with you all out there. But so maybe I should work on that. So anyway, so that's what I'm thinking with the hermit reversed in the 11th house, to do with my hopes and aspirations and my kind of future situation. And the 12th house, which is over there, the 12th is, all sorts of people will give you all sorts of ideas. Think about the 12th as karma. So it shows your karma. It shows the lessons you're meant to learn at the moment and what your lessons revolve around. So I get the 7 of Swords here. So my karma at the moment, and I've been thinking about this, and I don't really know what to say, but my karma involves winning and losing, and who am I going to help out or seek out? And I'm going to seek out the weak part rather than the winner, so to speak. Don't quite know what that means. But again, I'm doing this. I didn't want to just give you, I wanted to show you how sometimes you don't know what to say. So what you do is you, depending on who the reading is for, maybe you think about it over the course of a few days, and some ideas will come to you. But sometimes you just don't know quite what to say, and it takes time to think it through and come up with an answer. Or this 12th house can be my wife's sickness, or it could be my daughter's philosophy, and so on. Okay, that's it for the moment. I'll be back in a few days and we'll look at the whole spread and how to... So now that you're more aware of or understand more about the meanings of the actual houses, and we've done a little bit of interpretation, I'll work through all 12 houses and show you how to interrelate and how to answer questions that you might think cannot be answered. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you in a couple of days. Okay, bye-bye.